Hello, and welcome to Split Your Head. I am your host, Bob, and today's special guest is Brewce Longo, a Philly based filmmaker who is leading the wave in mumblegore. What is mumblegore? I would describe it as an idiosyncratic style that mixes the abject ickiness of horror into mumblecore slacker melodrama. He's been pumping out films for Bloodsick Productions, such as Coven of the Black Cube, Bloodsick Psychosis, and his most recent project, Vick and Tarstar's Scarecrow Factory. This is truly some of the most unique and charming independent cinema I've seen in quite some time. So naturally, I had to have this maniac on to figure out how the heck he turns out these wild films. Bruce, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's been a while coming now because like your name has been definitely circulating around. I've had a lot of similar minded filmmakers mention you, and I'm glad I finally took the plunge into Bloodsick Productions. So with Vic in Tarstar's Scarecrow Factory, is that fully out now? Like Blu-ray, DVD, everything?
No, that is it's we're doing a theatrical tour. August 11th it starts in Philly, where I'm from, and then I think we're doing about a dozen cities throughout August and ending with our last one is in September in Portland, Oregon. And then it'll be out on Blu-ray later this year. We have some like like super limited like tour edition Blu-rays that we'll have at the events. But that's like that will only be at the events. The official Blu-ray comes out from another distributor later this year.
Oh, can you say who?
We're not supposed to.
Oh, then don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Or you can say it and I can edit it out. It's up to you.
Yeah, no.
I'll just beep. Beep.
It's from a very cool label that puts out a mixture of like new indie films and like old like retro SOV stuff. They're new but amazing.
Cool.
They're part of a bigger conglomerate, but they're like a smaller partner label. They're great.
Okay, so it's Vinegar Syndrome partner label.
Oh,
Say
yeah.
no more. Say no more. Don't
Yep.
confirm or deny.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming then, like I just saw a screener of Vic and Tarstar,
Mhm.
and that's what's kind of been going around everything. Like, what's the response been like so far from people that have seen it?
So I've only really showed it to a couple of like critics and friends and some other filmmakers. So I'm getting all positive feedback, but I'm giving it to people that might have some bias. So like I kind of
Right.
try to like not really look into that too much.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's I mean the only people I've seen it are like a few people that have doing interviews with me, some people that are booking the film, and some filmmaker friends. So
Right.
I'm getting positive feedback, but I
Yeah.
think the real tell will be like when general audience starts seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I because you shared all these screeners with me, watching all of your work this past week, it definitely does feel like the most like slickest, most ambitious, most like accomplished film of yours. Is that something that you feel as well after finishing it?
I mean, kind of like yes and no. I think it definitely like looks the best. It's our first 4K movie. I've always just shot on VHS. It is. It's our first movie that we did. Like we were shooting with multiple cameras, with multiple angles to choose from, and we also had the biggest crew so far. So we had. I mean, I think we had like five different cameramen that were rotating out. We had a three-person lighting team and three-person sound crew. So it was definitely like the biggest, and probably the biggest like ensemble cast as well. So it's definitely like the biggest in scope of films.
But it's okay. It's interesting you say that because, like, the film, to someone listening who hasn't watched it, which is I'm sure a lot of people since it's not really out yet. The
Mhm.
film is like a meta. sort of like I called it a day for night kind of homage, and that it's
Yeah.
like the production of a film.
Mhm.
So how many of these people that are on the crew that are then like saying lines? You know what I mean? Like, was
Mhm.
there a lot of crossover with that?
Um, so yeah, I mean, typically I don't usually like acting, you know.
Okay.
So this is like different for me. I usually would do like a small, tiny cameo in like my
Sure.
old, just like it'd be like, oh, like we didn't find somebody to be the bartender. He's got 2 lines. I'm like, whatever. It's for me. It'll be easier if I just do it than find
Yeah.
somebody. But but then when we did Busted Babies last year, Casper starred and directed at the same time, and I thought that was kind of inspiring. I was like, oh, if she could do it, I could probably do it.
Yeah. Fair.
So I
Fair.
figured
Yeah.
I'd try it. And then then Michael DeFrancesco, he was been my like director of photography on all my previous work. Um, so he told me, he's like, well, if you're gonna act, I should act. So I was like, fine, let's do it. Um,
Right.
which which I think he plays him. I mean, he's literally just playing himself, essentially me too. But so I think it's easier. But I remember like our first movie, Bloodstick Psychosis. He did a cameo as like a cop, and it was like for whatever reason he like really struggled like doing the lines. But
Okay.
this movie is like much more like improv, and you're kind of playing yourself. So like I felt like he did it pretty naturally.
Yeah.
Whereas like I was like scared at first because I was like, I don't know, dude. You remember that time when you tried to do the cop, dude? It took like an hour to shoot like a 30-second scene. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. But I thought he was very good this time. So
Right. Right.
and then otherwise from the crew, yeah. So ex Menzak, they played the reporter. They're usually our assistant camera, like running slate and stuff. Who I
Right.
originally wanted to play Jenny, who's the assistant camera, but then at one point, X wasn't going to be able to be on the movie at all. Uh,
Okay.
so I replaced them with Slink Skull. I actually I knew Slink was going to be in the movie, but I just kind of jumbled people around. So it was going to be like, oh, X was essentially playing themselves. Michael was playing themselves. I was going to play myself. Casper was going to essentially play herself. That got kind of shifted around. And then Elise, who is my special effects artist, was essentially kind of played like a fictional version of her. So we were all sort of like, the way it was originally written was
Oh my
we're all
god.
sort of playing ourselves, but set in like a slightly altered version of our reality, just for
Oh
story,
man.
for story purposes. Um, the way low budget filmmaking goes, it's just like
Yeah.
it all got jumbled. Not everyone played who they were originally supposed to, but me, Michael, and Elise all retained the roles that we were written for.
Okay.
Everyone else is either playing a different part that they were originally supposed to, or I brought in other actors to play people.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
did you keep track of all that? Because that sounds so easy to get lost within. You know.
hmm well, it all happened like one step at a time. So I mean, like,
Okay.
I my, I originally had the concept for this movie way back in March of 2024. We
Okay.
had, yeah, we'd wrapped principal photography on Busted and Coven in January, but then in March we decided to go to Florida to shoot some more Busted Baby stuff, and that movie is just like one of the most fun sets that I ever worked on. We all had a
Cool.
blast, and like I just kind of had this like idea. It's also like one of the weirdest experiences, like Casper is like a really unique writer, and so I was like we should make like a movie that's kind of based on like that process.
Right. Right.
So that's how I pitched that to everyone while we were on vacation then. And then but then it sort of like twisted and evolved a lot over the year, and then we didn't actually write the script until December of 2024,
Okay.
and we wrote the script, and like it was so fast because yeah, we were supposed to shoot something else in January, All right, this is the thing with so many things just get canceled and moved around in low budget filmmaking. We were supposed to shoot this movie called Dr. Fetus in January. That got
Which
yeah,
Hugh Gallagher was wearing a shirt for?
yeah. Yep.
Okay, okay. Got
Yeah.
okay. Now it's all clicking together. Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh wrote this movie, Dr. Fetus, that we were going to do in January, but it's kind of like an expensive film to make, and we only raised about a quarter of the budget that we needed.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I decided, well, and at that point, there was a lot of like wheels that were already in motion. I had booked a crew. I cast a lot of people, and we had some locations. Um, so with Dr. Fetus getting put on postpone, I was like, well, I still want to shoot something. So I decided to sort of fast track the sort of like meta movie concept that I had. And so basically I went down to Kentucky. I spent like half a night with Casper and we just sort of brainstormed like a rough overview.
Okay.
And then we both kind of like went home and like spent like 2 weeks writing stuff. It was like, so we kind of came up with the overlay together, and then the idea was Casper would write all of the scenes that were like the movie that the crew was making, and then I
Oh, okay.
and then I would write all the behind the scenes stuff,
Hmm.
that was more about the crew and the cast making this film. That was the initial concept, but then it became more collaborative. Then Casper would be like, "Oh, well, what if like the girl that was like selling her pee online is also selling her fingernails?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so we would kind of sort of like add stuff to each other's scenes as well. But
Hmm.
that was like the initial genesis. So then I wrote those scenes, she wrote those scenes, and then I like kind of typed them up together, and then I would send it back to Casper, and she would basically be like, "This is all good. This is good. Let's change this." And we kind of sent it back and forth a few times, but the whole script was written so quick and just so yeah. We started writing it, yeah, like early December. We started filming January. I think it was like 13th or something like that. Whatever that
Oh,
Tuesday
wow.
was.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we our initial writing session was like December like 10th or something. So we were like from writing to filming was like just over a month away. So it was
Hmm.
like super super fast forward, despite the fact I had the initial concept over a year ago now. But
Ah,
it all happened so fast, you know. I
yeah.
think if I had like another month with that script, I think it would have been possibly a little bit better. But I still really
But you're always going to feel that way. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I think everyone feels that way whenever they complete any kind of project. Like, oh, I needed to fix that or I needed, but
Yeah,
it's the fact that it got made is like the most important thing then,
very true.
but yeah, I saw Busted Babies before I saw any of your work. So it was interesting to see Busted Babies and Coven of the Black Cube and then see Vick and Tarstar's Scarecrow Factory because
Mm,
I really felt like Vick and Tarstar was like kind of a combination of both films in a way.
totally. Yeah.
So it kind of made me curious then, like in terms of how you wrote this film. Um, like okay, with Busted Babies, watching that, I really didn't know where it was going, and I didn't really know how you guys arrived at the ending or arrived at like what should happen next.
Mhm.
So am I right in thinking then with Vic and Tarstar that you did have this plot overall that was, as you said, came up with beforehand, and
Mhm.
then you sort of just like drizzled all the absurdity on top.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was like, so I really wanted to do like, I wanted to try making a mumblecore film really bad. You know, like I'm a really good, um, really big fan of a lot of mumblecore movies by like Joe Swanberg and Eugene Koltyrenko, and
Okay.
um, and Joe particularly became like a pretty good friend of mine over the last 2 years.
Well, he's in Coven of the Black Cube,
He's in Coven,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So he hosted the premiere of my Corpse for Christmas movie in Chicago. He used to
Cool.
have this like he used to have this venue called Analog Video which I think
Mm.
now exists as like a pop-up video store, but it used to be a video store slash screening room.
Okay.
But it closed shortly after my premiere. But I remember during that Q&A, he was like, he mentioned something about like, oh, like there's a lot of like, like interesting relationship drama in here, you know, and then it goes to these like dark places, right? And at the time, I remember thinking, I was like, well, that's what I have to do if I want to tell my relationship drama. It needs to be like disguised as a horror film to get people to watch it. So,
Right, right.
with this movie, I wanted to lean more into like mumblecore drama stuff,
Huh.
but I knew I was like for the fan base I've established, we still have to like it's got to be something else as well, And I was like, and
Hmm.
I wanted to get away from doing like a slasher like horror type film, but I was like, well, if all these actors are like fetish models and they're like that a
Mm.
whole weird angle, and they're still like going to be like working on set of a horror film, so we could still like do a couple like weird kind of like gore shots and stuff. I was like we can keep I was like as long as we're doing like the weird sick stuff,
Yeah.
I could tell like my like drama story, and I think that would be
Huh.
enough for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then is the next step for you to just make up or not make up, but sorry, create a relationship drama like minus the horror altogether? Is that the dream?
No, I don't think so. Because like I love the sick shit too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, it to me it just works better. It's more entertaining.
Hmm.
I mean, like my favorite Swanberg movie is Silver Bullets, and it's like they're making a werewolf movie. You know what I mean? Like that sort
Mm.
of like studying like really works for me.
Yeah.
And he's got this other movie called like 34 Exposures, or I might have the number wrong, but it's like some sort of exposure. And it's like again,
Okay.
it's like a relationship drama, but like it ends with like murder and killings and obsessions and stalking and stuff like that stuff. I don't know. I like it, because it's like it has more to it than like just the drama. Think of movies like what's his name, like Andrew, like was it Bukowski or whatever his name is. I'm
That
blanking.
sounds familiar.
But
What did he do?
he has like, I mean, he's got a lot of like mumblecore stuff, but they're like super dry. Like trying
Oh,
to
okay.
think of movies like I think of stuff like Funny Ha and stuff like that. Like I like them a lot.
Did he do computer chess? Is that the
Possibly.
guy?
I haven't seen Computer Chess, but
I haven't
maybe.
seen any of his films. I'm just trying to think of like posters I've seen because there's one like "Give It Up for the Girls." Is that the guy?
Funny Ha. Support the girls and compete. Yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. That is him. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So I've only seen Funny Ha and Mutual Appreciation. But yeah, so
So in a way, like because you said this guy's making like dry dramas basically or
Mhm,
dry mumblecore films.
mhm.
Your films are like wet mumblecore
Yeah.
films because
So
but the wetness being like horror
yeah.
essentially, you know?
Mhm.
I think what's interesting to me about it is more like structurally how the films work because I'm used to horror films feeling like a vice grip is tightening, you know? So
Mhm.
it's like building to this ending where the ending is sort of like the catharsis or something, you know, or like it's like a big climax. And like I think you did that in Coven of the Black Cube,
Yeah.
but Vick and Tarstar Scarecrow Factory isn't really like that. You know what I mean? In fact, it ends like I don't want to spoil it, but it ends on kind of a somber note in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like sad endings personally. You know what I mean? I
Well,
mean,
I
my,
kind
my,
of
the movies never end happily. My movies at least.
yeah. I don't think people really like happy endings in like at least people that watch like, you know, independent films or horror movies. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? It almost sounds like a dirty word, like a happy ending. Like
Yeah.
the only time I want a happy ending is a revenge film.
Uh huh.
And
Yeah.
even then that's like that's kind of subjective, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because really, it's like it's all right at the end of a river. Yeah, you've accomplished your goal, but
Right. Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
yeah, no, this movie. I don't know. It's like it's so Vick and Tarstar. It's like just the way I wrote that ending. It was just like, oh, it's like how I felt that time. You know, like I sort of just like had that's how I felt that year. It's kind of weird when you make a movie, right? It takes so long from Genesis to filming to post and everything. I'm at a point now where I'm almost like, this is not exactly how I feel about film anymore, but like it's how I felt.
Oh,
It's how I felt last year.
okay. Wait, so how you felt in the sense that you were like, because I guess what I get is like these the characters are all like really disappointed. There's a lot of disappointments in your films, which is kind of it's interesting to me because I don't know. Am I like digging too deep or?
No, 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 not at
Oh,
all.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, I'm like, whereas yeah, in Scarecrow Factory, it's like, yeah, you got all these people that are like working on this thing, and everyone's like super excited when they're doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then like everyone goes off and does their separate thing for a while. It takes a long time for a movie to come out with editing and post and release, blah blah blah. So by the time it does come out, then it's you kind of have this like sort of like a souvenir of this time that you and your friends had together making this thing.
Yeah.
And but by the time it comes out, it's like, where are you and those people now, right?
Mm.
And in a lot of cases with me, it's like we're not what we were when we shot it, you know. um,
Oh.
and yeah, and so it's like, I don't know. That was sort of like what I was like kind of feeling with that particular ending, you know. Um,
Hmm.
and it's, yeah, I don't know. Life changes, relationships change, and friendships change, and there's always, yeah, I don't know. That's so that was like what I was feeling with when I wrote that end. You know?
I don't know, man. Hearing you talk about it like that, I'm like, you got to do like a fucking scenes from a marriage, like harsh relationship drama. I think it's in you. Would you not agree?
I mean, I mean, I like all that stuff. Maybe one day,
Okay, let's get your top 5 relationship drama films. And you can't name Mumblecore.
I can't name any mumblecores.
No, no. Has to be outside the Mumblecore.
Oh, outside of mumblecore, that's
Because I
I
want
like.
to I want to get to like everyone's influences are obviously like what you're trying to achieve now, right? What you're into now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the films that you grew up on are obviously going to be the things that sow the seeds in you. And you're
yeah.
drawn to these relationship dramas like you must have been watching something growing up that was
All
like
right,
that really okay, go go go.
here's a growing up.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Two big ones I can say growing up that are like very different from each other. Number
Okay.
one is not a movie, but Dawson's Creek, teen soap.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dawson is the same graduating class as me, so like I felt like watching that show, like, I always thought Dawson was like a bit of like a nerd, but like in a lot of ways I like related to him and Pacey.
Yes, yes. Okay, wait, I have to stop you then because maybe like 10 minutes ago you were talking about something and I was so close to being like, I feel like this guy's into Kevin Williamson. He's into Scream, but I don't know if I want to drop that and offend him just yet. I need
Mm,
to get more evidence, and this
yeah.
is the evidence I needed.
Yeah, yeah, Dawson's Creek. Yeah, I mean, I'd say like overall, I'm not like the biggest like Kevin Williamson fan, like in general, but definitely
Okay.
Dawson's Creek. I
But not the Scream movies? You weren't into those?
I like the first Scream a lot. Two and three have like a bit of like a sort of like high school nostalgia thing for me. I did. I don't think they're like great, but like I saw them young, so like I enjoyed them. Part four
Yeah.
I kind of liked, and then the five and six I despised, absolutely
Sucked. I
despised. Yeah,
hated 5. I didn't
yeah,
see 6.
yeah. Absolute trash. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
I want to say Kevin wasn't even involved. And obviously Wes was involved, so it's like.
Yeah.
And
Fuck that shit.
I never watched the show or anything either. But like the first
Oh, no.
Scream, I think is a good movie. I don't
Oh,
think
hell yeah.
I don't really like. keep it on that same like level of like, I don't know, Freddy Krueger that and shit that some people do, but like I do like it a lot, you know. But
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Okay, so Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, Dawson's
Did you
Creek.
ever, did you ever watch Degrassi?
I've tried, yeah, like I've got a handful of friends, like my friend Nick Lombardo, like really try to sell me hard on Degrassi because he's
Wait,
not.
but which one? Because like there's a big difference
I
between
know, I know.
the
I
OG is
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. So I've tried. I don't remember. At this point, it's been long enough that I don't really remember everything that I like tried watching. But like it seemed like a tad too. I don't know. It didn't feel like real to me.
Hmm.
It felt like extra soap opera-y, and
Okay.
like the
Interesting.
and some of the characters were like too just I don't know too character-y, if that makes sense. Like it
Okay.
just felt I don't know. It didn't click with me. But I,
So
I know a lot of people really love it, but
so
it didn't.
that connects to the mumblecore then to me because mumblecore, I barely know anything about it, but it does feel
Mhm.
very authentic and very
Yeah.
realistic. And so
Mhm.
I think, based on what you're talking about, the things you're into, like that's sort of a big deal for you. Like you don't want to feel like it's really campy or artificial. You want that realism.
Mhm.
Was there any films for you growing up that kind of like clicked with that, I guess? Like I mean, Kids comes to mind, but that's like a harsh movie, right? So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kids is good. I like Harmony. Those kind of, I mean, Harmony. The early Harmony movies, at least, particularly,
mhm.
they kind of feel like they have that sort of like mumblegore mentality where it almost feels like you're like the viewer. Yeah, it kind of feels like voyeuristic, where you're just like looking in on these people and they're just like existing, you know.
Yeah,
And you're just like seeing like, oh, like this is how these people like live, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, yeah, Gummo and Kids and Donkey Boy kind of like feel that way to me, which is like a lot of the way that those mumblecore movies are. It just kind of just feels like, oh, there's a camera set up, somebody hit record, and then these people are just like living their lives, and it feels like you're like looking in on real people. It doesn't really feel like this play,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I guess to me though, the big difference and I say this again without not knowing a lot about mumblecore, but like with
Mhm.
Harmony Korine stuff, think of like Gummo and Julian Donkey Boy versus mumblecore is like the way he peers into these real lives, he kind of makes like a spectacle out of them. And you could even argue, like, is there a level of exploitation going on? Whereas I
Mhm.
think Mumblecore, like Harmony Korine, isn't in Gummo. Do you know what I mean? Like he's
Totally.
finding these people that are kind of like he sees as like in these margins of society, but like you're in your movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like
I
yeah,
mean,
like there isn't that distance.
he's also kind of faking it though. I mean, it's like you got
Yeah.
like Chloe Sevigny in Gummo, like she doesn't
Oh,
live in
that's true.
the world. So
Yeah.
it and what's her? I always forget her name, but it's that played her mom that was in like that the Dennis Hopper film,
Oh,
Out of the Blue. Uh,
Linda fucking Mans.
yeah, she's amazing.
She's incredible.
So
Yeah.
it's like, but they feel like they belong there. But
Yeah,
but
that's
obviously
true.
they're sort of injected into that world. But yeah, like
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a mixture. I mean, some of those people are just like definitely a real life part of that town, and then he's sort of injected his actors and stuff too.
Yeah. It makes me think then in terms of like your process and everything. Like if you were given a huge budget and like tons of resources, would you then go out and make a film where it's like, all these professional actors and like you don't have any of your friends involved or anything? Or would you just basically make a film the same way you're doing it, but do it to like the next level? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I would. Yeah, no, I would want to do somewhere kind of 50-50. Like
Oh, okay.
I would personally like to keep, like maybe like some of my crew, right? Like some of the people, like I would always work with Michael and Charles. Like Charles is my co-producer, Michael's been my DP. Um,
Yeah.
and even if they had like a slightly separate role than they would normally have, I would like want them there with me because they know how they work. And then as far as like cast, I always like to bring in like a couple new people anyway, and
Yeah.
then a mixture of like some new people and some of my like classic actors. So I'd probably like to continue to do that. So if we did have like a big budget one day, right, I'd be like, all right, well, like let's get like a dope lead, right, or like a recognizable lead, and like maybe one or two other like semi-known people, and then I'll fill the rest in maybe with some of like people I love working with all the time.
Cool. I like that. That makes me think of are you at all a fan of like the Safdie brothers?
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't seen like they've got like a new show, or I don't know if that's just Benny or
Or
what.
The Curse?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Mm.
But I really love Good Time. Like,
Oh,
love
that's
Good Time.
amazing.
Yeah.
But
The
with their films, they use Robert Pattinson, but then
Mhm.
they also use like real like non-professional actors, you know what I mean? Like kind of a mixed bag. And they do a really good job of making it feel organic so that you're not really seeing that difference. And I think sometimes using a non-professional actor, you might get that person doing that same thing every movie, but there's
Mhm.
like a certain charm to it or electricity that
Totally.
you can't find in an actual actor.
Yeah, yeah. What's his name? Similar in like the Florida Project and Red Rocket and stuff. Um,
Oh, Sean Baker.
Tom Baker is kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally, totally.
work with like non-actors a lot, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I'd say like the majority of my cast are usually non-actors, like a handful of actors, and then a handful of just like people I find interesting that I think would look good on camera.
Yeah. That's really all that matters, I think. You
Yeah.
know? But then okay, so if you did have this project or
Mhm.
when you have this project, let's talk about it positively like that.
Uh,
Are you still going to have the horror elements?
I mean, that's just kind of my style. I think, like I like mixing horror and drama. I think that works for me. So I'd say probably, like I'm open to trying new things though,
Totally.
so like I would do anything like if the right idea hit me that
Yeah.
felt good and that's what I wanted to shoot, like I'm always open to like whatever, but I think the ideas that most naturally come to me are kind of like a mixture of those things that I like, yeah, be it horror and drama, and but in like in they're all sort of everything I've made I think are kind of both, but in different settings. Bloodstick Psychosis is less dramatic than like the later stuff, but um yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That was of the screeners you sent me, that was the only one that like I was working from home yesterday and so I put it on while I was working and I didn't get to finish it, but it was the one that I felt like of what I saw was actually your scariest.
Yeah,
Like it felt like pretty creepy at times,
yeah,
which I was surprised about because your other films have like scary or shocking moments, but overall like the vibe is more of like a
yeah.
hangout like relationship drama. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of like, God damn, I gotta watch this one again, like all the way through.
Yeah,
Um,
Bloodstick is way more mean spirited too, I think, but like at the time, like yeah, I wrote that movie in 2020 when everyone was living these sort of like isolated lives, right? Where you're not seeing many people. I'm
yeah,
like literally just like I'm in my basement studio every day, like by myself, So
yeah,
I think that the headset that I was in when I wrote that one, it's like I based it on the serial killer Richard Chase, who was a complete loner that was like totally fucked up,
mm,
and I was like, I thought he would be like a good character to sort of like write from, this just person that's like not connecting with anyone really, and has like a total like wall and break from normal society and friendships, and it was also just like, you know I was just like I was reaching a point where I'm like I felt like very very like just sort of like a hard drive to get a movie finally made because I had shot some stuff in the past that like never finished or never worked out, and for whatever reason in the pandemic I felt this drive was like if I don't do this like now, I felt like I'm running out of time. I need to make. So I had this like different sort of drive that was like, I don't know. I like mean spirited films. So I really wanted to make something like that, you know. Uh,
Oh, okay, cool,
But
cool.
there's like some like relationship drama in it, but like very little, I think, compared to my other stuff.
Kind of the expected amount, I'd say, for a horror film,
Right.
because most horror movies do have a bit of, you expect a little character development or something or drama. I mean, like take all the 80s slashers, like, like Sleepaway Camp, there is like relationship drama in that if you
Sure.
think about it, right?
Totally.
So
Mhm.
so I think that film had like the expected amount. And I think if someone saw that first of your films, they'd maybe be surprised going to the other ones after to be like, oh, wait a second, like that's the direction that he went more into, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
But was that kind of, you finished the film, were you kind of thinking, you know what, next time I think I want to chill on the horror a bit?
No, I mean, well, the next one was Corpse for Christmas, and wanted to just do
Oh,
like
okay.
the sleaziest thing ever. And I wanted to, so, um, uh, I remember I didn't know what to do at first, right? And I remember I was like, I was reading these like old like pulp magazines, like True Detective and Police Files and stuff like that. And I had found this one. It was like an '80s magazine. I think it was called like Police Detective, and like on the cover, it had uh, Carol and Doug crave newly deads, right? So I started reading it. It's just like the story of like Carol Bundy and Doug Clark. That was like a necrophiliac couple.
Okay.
And the more I read about them, I was like, dude, they're like, yeah, it's gnarly. They were like killing people and fucking dead bodies, right? But then the more I start reading it, I was like, their whole story is so twisted because there was like this other guy that was involved. That like, you know, Carol was like dating this married man that was like cheating on his wife with her, and then like
Oh.
Carol was seeing Doug, who was like like the twisted serial killer guy, and it was like super messy. And I thought the whole story of that was just as twisted as like the crimes they were committing. You know, everything
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
gross. And so I just like thought, I was like, this is great. I was like, I can write a really, because I had also, I mean, I'd written like a sort of a number of iterations of the story over the years where I would write this sort of like melancholic Christmas story, you know, of like just sort of like struggling relationships around Christmas time. And I
Mm.
thought that was like this like gross necrophilia story that's true could be like a good sort of like setting for the sad Christmas stories. So I was like, well, if I take these just like sad, empty people on Christmas time, and then
Yeah.
the true life, I was like, I don't know, that's kind of weird. So I was like, I think I could do something very sleazy and gross, and still tell like a weird, fucked up relationship drama where just everyone is horrible. You know, and it's like you kind of like you don't really like root for anyone. Like they're all gross. I don't know. I loved it. Just,
Okay.
yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds awesome. I think I only had so much time to watch like 3 or 4 of your films this week. But I did see the Corpse for Christmas and I'm not like big on Christmas anymore. The older I get, the more I hate it. But there's
Mhm.
something about watching Christmas films not around Christmas that like kind of bugs me. Like I
Yeah.
can't really do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So December 24th, I will watch A Corpse for
Perfect.
Christmas.
That's
Yeah, I
perfect.
hope
Yeah,
I
I
hope
mean,
my
I
wife
I
is
I
ready.
I know I shot myself in the foot with that movie because like, yeah, you do like a holiday movie, and then you're like, no one will watch it the majority of the year. Yeah.
but
Alright.
but people are drawn to Christmas films, so it's. Do
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like I do think it is a a strong selling point. I think the Terrifier 3 was a Christmas horror film, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
like
that came out on Halloween for some reason.
I know, I think I watched that one in November at
Mhm.
least to kind of help a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
I
think
still
that
haven't seen
helps.
it, you know?
You still haven't seen it? Is that what you said?
I haven't seen it, yeah.
You're
Um,
not a fan of the Terrifiers?
the other I mean, they're okay, like, so I actually did, like, part 2. Um,
Mhm.
I The first one I thought was okay. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's, like, the fandom of those movies kind of annoy
Okay.
me, like,
Hmm.
it's I they're fine movies, especially for, like, the special effects are, like, incredible, but the
Yeah.
first one particularly, I the to me, there was, like, no story, no characters for me to latch on, and
Yeah.
that I I I don't know. I don't like that kinda stuff, like,
I
to
can
me,
tell.
yeah, I mean, to me, a story is more important than special effects, because to me, special effects are, like they're cool, but they're to me, like, they, like, enhance a story, so
Mm.
when your movie is just effects, it's I'm not saying it's not good, I'm just saying that's not the stuff I connect with personally,
No, for
like,
sure, and
but I
you
have so much respect for the Terrifier series, though, because that guy is coming from, with All Hallows Eve was made on a super low indie scale, and now he's making, the biggest blockbuster hit in horror out there, and that is inspiring, I think,
Right, right.
So, I say good for him, even if they're not for me, like, I'm happy that something like that can do that well,
Mm.
but at the same time too, though, it's like, I go to these, like, horror conventions, and it's like "Oh, we got Art the Clown. It'll $500 to meet him." I'm like, "Fuck you. What, dude?" Like,
Wow.
or whatever it is. That number might be, like, misconstrued, but, like, the
Yeah.
it's insane, and then it's like, I think it's sort of derailed, like, I mean, not Terrifier exclusively, but that the sort of, like, weird mentality of the people have, like, kinda had with these, like, dumb slasher movie fans,
Okay.
of standing in a line for it now.
Yeah.
Conventions have turned, and I'd say it probably happened about 10 years ago, so probably before Terrifier, but now the conventions are just, like, all about waiting in line to meet this, like, guy that got killed in some slasher movie from whenever, and instead of, like, it used to be like lots of, like, cool indie filmmakers, and you discover a new film, you get to talk to people. Now it's like,
Yeah.
hey, spend a couple $100 and you can meet this person for 10 seconds, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some conventions that are still cool, like Cinema Wasteland. It's still, like, very indie and filmmaker focused, but the
Yeah.
bigger ones now are all like Terrifier, Walking Dead,
Right, right. I remember I think the first horror convention I went to was in 2006
Mhm,
and I got to meet and he wasn't even at a table. He was just like had a stand where he was selling his film, but Douglas Buck,
mhm,
who did family portraits, like Cutting Moments, Home. Do you know those movies?
mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
okay. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. I don't know if they maybe would be not enough drama for you, but
I mean,
pretty harsh.
I like plenty of weird horror movies. Don't worry,
These are like more like they're very disturbing, I guess would be
Mhm.
a good way of putting it. And then he did a Sisters remake,
Oh,
the
cool.
Brian De Palma's film, which
Mhm,
wasn't very good. But
mhm.
is now getting a release on 4K from Severin for some
Cool.
reason. Yeah, and then I went to a horror convention a few years ago that was a lot smaller. Like it was in a smaller building, but they had really great like Q&A kind of lectures with the one I saw was Goretta and Lamberto Bava, I think it was. So she was
Cool.
kind of like translating for him and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think there was like a pay to get an autograph kind of thing. I'm not really into that. I
Right.
um I think honestly like the best experience like that would be if you can run into someone completely randomly on the street and get
Totally.
like a photo or an autograph that way and there's not
Mhm.
like an exchange of money because what's so special about like I lined up to get them to sign something, you know? I'm like,
Exactly.
but that's all they were there to do anyways, you know?
Mhm.
But
Totally agree.
maybe one day you will be signing at a horror convention and your thoughts will change about that.
I've signed a couple things in my life, and that's fine,
Yeah.
but no, I'll never just no, 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 no. I'll never just
Okay.
sit there and sign for money. Like, I won't do that. No.
But I could see you doing more of like a Bloodstick Productions table where you're
Mhm.
selling all the films,
Yeah.
almost like a Lloyd Kaufman, how he'll go to like sell the Troma films. Not to compare you to Lloyd Kaufman
Yeah, yeah.
in any kind of bad way or anything, but
Lloyd's cool, man. I like Lloyd.
I don't know a lot about him, and he's someone I've heard so many mixed things about over the years.
Mhm.
So if you've had good experiences, Bruce, then
I haven't worked with him, so that's the
okay.
key.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you know, maybe that will happen at some point. Although your films don't really bring to mind trauma to me because they
No,
don't really have that kind of sense of humor.
no,
No.
yeah, yeah. They're not like dirty mouthed enough. I think like it's not like yeah. Trauma definitely has like a brand of humor that definitely like is aimed at like an adolescence like comedic style, and
Hmm.
that's fine. There's an audience for that, but yeah, no, I've known people where that like they were like shooting something for Trauma, and Lloyd will be like, well, all right, well, add this scene where President Bush gets fucked in the ass. I was like, and they're like, what do you, you know,
Okay.
and that's fine. I mean, I don't want to do that, but people watch it. People love Trauma. There's a huge fan base for it. I think Lloyd has kind of like created this. I mean, one of the biggest empires of no budget filmmaking.
Yeah.
So I think that's to be respected for sure.
Hmm. You're more of like a Charles Band guy or something, or
I mean, not really. I mean, no, I like all these people. I like
sure, sure.
Band. Empire and Full Moon is cool. Um, I mean, Full Moon, I think, and Charlie stuff, it's kind of similar. It's like they're similar, like low to no budget kind of stuff, and those are like I think they're like sleeker, they're less juvenile, but sometimes more
Mm.
boring. But
Oh, yeah,
so it's like
yeah.
it all depends on how you like it. But there's Trauma movies that I love. There's Full Moon movies I love, and then but like 90% of both companies I don't like. You know what I mean? But like
Hmm.
the Nikolai films from Charlie Band's company, I really love.
Which
Uh,
ones?
the Nikolai, he did the
Oh,
vampire movies, the subspecies and stuff.
I like the first one.
Yeah, I honestly I like all of them. I think really, up to like part 5 came out last year or 2 years ago or something. That I still like that one.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and like the Trancers movies are great.
Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, I don't have the same love for
Okay.
personally. Um,
I like four quite a bit. That's the
yeah,
my favorite one. Yeah,
okay, yeah. I feel like most people like 3 a lot. But
it's okay.
they're all I kind of feel like the same about most puppet masters. Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah,
I like
they're
stop
fun.
motion. I like the puppets. They look cool and
Yeah, yeah,
they're fine. I like them. I've seen the Puppet Master movies like once. Like they're not like these like classics that I know a lot of people like
yeah.
but I like them.
I think Castle Freak is probably the best full moon film, in
Castle
my
Freak
opinion.
rules. Yeah,
Yeah,
Castle Freak
yeah.
rules. Yeah.
It feels the most serious and
Yeah.
the scariest, probably, I would
Yeah. Yeah.
say. That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. It
Yeah,
freaked the hell
the
out of me.
eating pussy scene is fantastic.
It's dark, yeah. Everything with the sex worker, was it? She was a sex worker, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, that whole part killed me when I was a kid. I was just like, oh man, I'm having nightmares for weeks
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
Great.
you had Hugh Gallagher though in Vick and Tarstar's Scarecrow Factory. So I take it he is someone that you kind of maybe grew up on or was like a big inspiration for you.
I wouldn't say I grew up on them, but when I like started taking like SOV in general is like a very sort of like weird like niche filmmaking that's just like not in the public's eye. So
Yeah,
I kind of got into that kind of stuff in my like mid to late 20s, I'd say. So like
same.
when Netflix first came out, there was not a lot, right? So it used to be you'd have to watch on your computer when you get the DVDs in the mail, right?
Hmm,
But
okay.
but when you're watching it on a computer, it was like before smart TVs, right? So maybe like '05, '06, I forget exactly when it launched, but they had a section on the streaming that was literally just called B horror movies, right? Which they've long since gotten rid of, right?
Yeah.
But I remember I discovered director Chris Seaver on there, right?
Oh,
And
that
I
sounds
watched,
familiar.
yeah, so I'd watched his movie. The first one I watched on there was I didn't realize, but it was a sequel. It was called Filthy McNastier, right?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Now I know this
I just
guy.
remember thinking, I was like, what is this title? You know? And I think I discovered a lot of like the trauma stuff and Herschel Gordon Lewis, all from Netflix around this kind of same era. And
Sure.
Chris is sort of like an absurdist humor filmmaker that normally I don't really like jive with, but his movies was the lowest budget thing I'd ever seen in my life. You know, like I was like,
Mm,
oh, this guy made these movies for $20. You know,
okay.
there was an energy to them that I really connected with, and I was like,
Cool.
it's sort of like you watch this and you're like, oh, this counts. This is a movie. You know,
Yeah.
people are watching this on a probably a somewhat bigger level if it's streaming on this like internet service, Netflix. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and to me, yeah, I found that really inspiring that there was just like people just out there shooting something, and it's completely unlike anything you've ever seen before in a Hollywood setting. And whether you like Chris's humor or not, I thought that was like awesome, and that led me into like wanting to watch more super indie stuff. And that's when I kind of discovered there's like this entire like shot on video VHS movement that happened, you know, 10 years, 15 years prior that then before I discovered them.
Yeah.
And it was all these people, doing making movies on their own terms. And I really connected with that. So eventually I discovered, I think like Tim Ritter was probably like early in that. Hugh is definitely like a huge one. To me, Hugh is like some of the best ones that connect with me stylistically best, because he, I think, is concerned more with like telling a good story than he
Hmm.
was with you know professionalism or effects and everything like that. Like his stories were really cool and unique. Like Garotica, especially, I think is like
Okay.
one of the best shot on video movies ever made.
Yeah, I need to see that. I've had a few people mention that on the show. I think actually Steven Grishuk was saying that was like a big influence on him. So yeah, I got to
Mm-hmm.
check that out.
Yeah. Garotica also, it's like it was very like punk driven too. So like
Mm.
worked with this guy. He goes by Dingo Jones, and he's like a face. But this guy's a great director. Is what he went on to direct later. But he starred in Garotica, and he got a bunch of his like musician friends to also do roles. And it has a very like punk energy to it that Hugh didn't quite have in his first movie, Gorgas. Or actually, I guess technically he had another movie before that. But no, there's the Gore trilogy. Gorgasm is really good, but then Goratica is when he linked up with Mike and made the. I think it changed the energy that
Cool.
he had. Added a whole like, I mean, something about like musicians and punks, and they shot it in Memphis, and just a really cool scene there, and Gore Hort still had as well. Mike also
Mm.
that one with him. So, and I like that energy a lot. So when I started doing my films, I kind of injected something similar. I hired a bunch of musicians, put live music in the stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
huge
love that.
inspiration to me.
Nice.
Mhm.
Because I was wondering about that. Like, you do have a lot of live band scenes. As you said, you just hired a lot of musicians. Like, are you a part of a music scene as well? Like, do you play in bands?
No, so I've a ton of my friends are musicians, but I've just never been good at playing music personally. I
Okay.
have tried many times over the years. But
Okay.
I've just never been good. But
Your talents lie elsewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, all right, like I'm like, I'll shoot your music video, like
Yeah. Yeah.
um, or I'll use you on a soundtrack, and so we can still do stuff together creatively. But I can't play guitar. I can't play. I've tried. I've learned like a little, but like I've never been great.
Yeah. But you're the filmmaker, like you
Yeah,
make the
yeah,
music videos, you get your friends involved that way and everything. And
sure.
as you said, like you keep that energy alive of having musicians in your films and everything. So it's almost like you are part of a music scene.
I say, yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah. Have you screened your films alongside bands playing or anything like that?
A couple times, yeah. So when we did Corpse for Christmas, our Baltimore premiere, we had Savage Mystic play live. Savage they're in the movie, and then so they played after the film, and then actually just recently back in May, did the East Coast premiere of Midnight Prowlers, which is a movie I did not make, but director Sam Spicoli shot that in L.A. She's sort of like similar. She's a new filmmaker. She's younger. This is her first thing. It's a short film. It's like 25 minutes or so, but it's also shot on video and very like indie, like metal punk driven.
Cool.
Um, Her premiere, she had like a couple of LA bands play. So what I did was, so we released the movie and I put all my music videos on it, which are mostly East Coast bands. So then I had two bands that I had done videos for play live for the premiere of Midnight Prowlers here in Philly. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was great.
Mm.
Actually, now that I think about it, also when I was touring Corpse for Christmas, there was this band called the North Carolina Cum Dogs. So when I played in Wilmington, they played live. So I didn't know them. Beforehand.
That's a real band name?
Yeah, oh, yeah, dude, check them out. They are on Spotify as NC Cum Dogs. Um, Spelled in the worst way possible, But yeah, so this guy Scott down in North Carolina, in
Yeah.
Wilmington, in Wilmington, where Dawson's Creek was filmed, right? Um,
Is that Delaware?
no, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay, I'm from Canada, so I'm allowed to get that
There-
fucked up.
I mean, nobody knows Wilmington, even if you're from the States, it's fine. But
Is there not a Wilmington in Delaware?
there is a Wilmington in Delaware. I think there's
Oh, okay.
there's probably like 10 Wilmingtons in the United States, but
Okay.
North Carolina is like there is like a big film studio scene in there. So they
Cool.
shoot a lot of like TV and film that takes place by the ocean is shot in Wilmington. And yeah,
Wait. Sorry, you said that was shot. Dawson's Creek was shot there.
yeah,
I
despite it
thought.
being set in New England, it is
Yeah,
shot.
I
Yeah.
thought it was on the East Coast. Isn't North Carolina?
It's still the East Coast. Wilmington, North Carolina is East Coast, but
Okay.
but yeah. So Dawson's Place is supposed to be, I think, in Massachusetts, right? Because they all go to school in Boston. So, but that's much more north East Coast. So that's New England.
Right.
North Carolina is like basically the South, but still,
Right.
still East Coast though. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but that's where the studios are, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Then
Um,
what was the name of the director you said that made Midnight Prowlers?
Sam Spicoli.
Sam Spicoli. Oh, like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. She spells it as all one word, Sam Spicoli, you know. Um,
Oh wow. Okay. Crazy.
yeah, she's great. She actually was just here. We did a second screening of Midnight Prowlers just this past Wednesday night. It played as an opener to Todd Sheets' new movie, Wolf Moon Rising. Who Todd is another huge like shot on video icon. Made like 30 movies in the '90s, all on VHS. So he's still making
Wait,
movies today.
and he's the one that always puts his wife in his films. Is that right?
No,
Oh wait,
no.
who am I thinking of then? I read a book.
You're thinking Todd Cook.
Todd, other Todd. I think
Yeah.
that's a fair mistake.
Mhm. Yeah.
The
Todd
other
Cook
Todd
is
SOV
Todd Cook
director.
is awesome as well. I've still never met him. I've exchanged emails with him a few times. So I've bought like all of his movies over the years,
Yeah.
but yeah, Todd Sheets is he's more prolific. His movies like are a bigger scale than Todd Cook. Yeah, a lot of Todd Cook movies are just him and his ex-wife just in their house. But
Yeah,
Todd Sheets, I mean, he's got a movie called Zombie Bloodbath from '94 where
Okay.
he had literally the credits say 750 zombies. I'm like, dude,
Hell yeah.
I'm like, you had almost 1,000 people work on this no budget movie, that
Wow.
was shot on VHS. So the community that Todd Sheets has built is astounding in Kansas City. So he worked at haunted houses, so he'd always get these like really sick sets that he could film on basically for free, and people believed in him and just worked with him for free, and he's still doing it. His movies are awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that the one to start with if you've never seen a Todd Sheets film?
I mean, to me, I mean, I didn't start with Zombie Bloodbath, but the thing is, like, a lot of those movies are kind of out of print now, so it's
Hmm.
hard to seek those out. But Visual Vengeance is starting to do
Hmm.
re-releases of some of his old stuff.
Cool.
So, like, I don't know. I know they put out Moonchild, which is like his old '90s werewolf one. That
Okay.
one's probably easy to get, but I would say like most of the '90s horror movies are great, but some of them you have to like scour the depths of the internet to find because the the tapes are like long out of print. Most of them never really came out on DVD outside of like conventions that he did. So they're all just expensive, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's like this like box set called like the Decrepit Crypt of Nightmares that like Darren Ramage put out that has like a lot of Todd's movies on them. So it's like you might be able to find one of those box sets for like $50, and there's at least like four or
Okay.
five Todd movies on that you can watch. Like Dominion and Goblin was like a big one,
Hmm.
but yeah, Zombie Bloodbath is not necessarily like the best one, but I'd say like the most impressive as far as scale goes. I would definitely watch either that or Bloodthirsty Cannibal Demons is one of my favorites as well. But yeah, they're all. I mean, they're hard to find right now.
Does that film actually have demons in it?
Bloodthirsty Cannibal Demons. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It kind of like it feels like the indie no budget version of or Lamberto Bava's Demons. You know,
I'm
it's like
sold.
yeah. So it's like but it's like a punk girl gang gets stuck in this abandoned movie theater, and
What?
there's demons. Yeah,
Oh my
it, it,
god.
yeah, it's great. I mean, the setting is similar to Demons, concept and setting, but the story is still very different and very unique. But it's great. That's probably my personal favorite Todd movie.
Bloodthirsty Cannibal Demons
Yeah.
by Todd Sheets.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm watching that. I have to find it. I have
Yeah.
to watch it. That sounds
So good.
incredible. I
So good.
anything with demons, I'm pretty much down for. I don't
Mhm.
think there's enough demon films or
Mhm.
demons in film, demon films or demons in films. It's an
Mhm.
you should put demons in your next film.
I don't do well with supernatural.
Well,
It,
no, but Coven of the Black Cube had supernatural.
it did. It did. Yeah.
Uh
Which
oh, I think you gotta put demons in your film.
we'll see. Maybe. Maybe. I really
Think
want to.
about it. Think about
My
it.
next movie, I really want to do a suicide cult film. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that because I usually ask the guests what's in store
Mhm.
next. What do you have lined up next?
Yeah. So if anyone's ever like noticed, I like spell my name in like a weird dumb way, like
Oh yeah.
Bruce, right? So like there's kind of two reasons for that. Like number one, I saw this like skater do it 20 years ago, and I thought it looked really cool. But number two, like if you Google my legal name, Brewce Longo, the first thing that always comes up is this suicide cult leader from the late '70s. His name
Oh,
is Charles Bruce Longo, and for years. I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, even today, if you were Google my name under like my legal spelling, that's still like probably the first thing that comes up.
Hmm.
But so like it's like a weird thing. It's just I've always just like known about this guy, you know. Um,
Okay.
and but then also there's this actress named Keisha Rose that I've worked with a handful of times, and I
Mm.
remember we like weirdly sort of like coincidentally were like having these conversations with some members of the Heaven's Gate,
Oh
and
wow.
and we sort of like both had these like similar experiences with them right around the same time, right before we shot this music video together, and it just they sort of like weirdly came up a handful of times, and then we were like working on this like Donald Farmer movie earlier this year called Little Bo Creep, and
Hmm.
it's kind of like a dumb movie. Like it's fun, but like it's you know
Sold.
like it's funny. I really liked making that movie, and I really liked working with Donald and Keisha. But
But
like
it's dumb.
but no, it's I mean it's dumb. I mean uh, not to say you should still watch it because you know you'll get some laughs out of it, but it is dumb. But when we were shooting this, you know, we
Yeah.
spent like, kind of like the week together, and like when we were not filming, we would just like talk about ideas. And like Keisha's like really brilliant, you know. She's a
Cool.
poet and she's like a really good singer. She's got a lot of really good talents, but for the most part, the only movies that she's been in so far are like pretty dumb. You know, she did this like dumb like Nicolas Cage movie called Mom and Dad, and like a handful of Donald Farmer movies,
Oh,
like this
okay.
like
I've heard of
weird
that.
like lesbian exploitation film, like just
Yeah.
like I like all of those movies, you know, but like
But they're dumb.
I just yeah, but I was like Keisha, like you're so good, like you should really be in something like smarter, you know, and and we just kind of talked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect world scenario, like hopefully, you know, we were talking about maybe writing this like cult film together,
Cool.
suicide cult film.
Yeah.
So you know, we're still kind of figuring that out, but that's the tentative plan. Is hopefully that'll be the next thing I direct. Hopefully, I'll.
What's the twist on the like? It's not just a suicide cult. Like, how do you make it a Bruce Longo cult? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the
Yes.
relationship drama or?
Well, what I would want it to kind of be is kind of like maybe like, you know, 20% based on like Charles Bruce Longo, maybe 20% based on Heaven's Gate, but then like the rest of it kind of be this sort of like so you know, she actually has some like experience with uh cults as well, and another friend of mine also kind of like grew up in like this like really weird setting that I think it was inspirational. So a little bit of like true life stuff from Keisha and another one of my friends, and then we wanted it to kind of be this like thing where like it started as like an art collective, like a community of you know, aspiring artists that are like getting together to like make this thing, but maybe they also had these similar like philosophies and ideals, and it starts off like very positively and trying to build this like cool like community of and way of thinking, but eventually goes wrong when tragedy happens, trauma happens, and ego takes over.
Mm.
Would kind of be like the hook to it.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So it
But
sounds pretty serious. Then it's like not really. There's not like a funny angle to it or anything like
no,
that.
I don't think it'd be funny. You know, yeah, it would probably be pretty dire, and yeah, I think like after Scarecrow Factory, like you know, there's a lot of like weird silliness to that movie, which I like
Totally.
a
Yeah.
lot. But I kind of like I was like, well, we should make something fucked up again, you know?
But fucked up, but like not in a goofy way. It sounds
Yeah,
like. It
yeah.
sounds like. So you know, I keep saying like, oh, Bruce, when are you gonna do this? You know, harsh relationship drama. And it sounds like you're kind of going in the direction I'm talking about. Just maybe not bringing to mind like scenes from a marriage, but something that's like more true
Mhm.
crime based in a way. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's a lot. You know, I like that. You know, you could take these personal dramas and put it in the setting of something like different, and it tells a different story, which is cool. I think
Yeah, yeah, I'm
We'll
into
see.
that.
We'll see.
You just made me think though of something I wanted to ask you about with Vick and Tarstar.
Mhm.
Mentioning all the like goofy, absurd things. What is up with all the what is it? Like the how do I explain it? It's like scabbed hands. Like everyone has like scabbed up hands. I
Yep.
feel like was that in Busted Babies as well? Or am I dreaming of
No,
that?
no, but in Busted Babies, the three leads all have horns and spots. They just have black spots all over their body,
Right.
and um, it's an aesthetic choice, right? And that I think became kind of iconic to Busted Babies. So that there's like this look of it's like Casper, Aaron, and Cody are all just black polka dotted people, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
and is in the context of the film never addressed, never explained. That's just what they look like. It's the aesthetic that Casper built. Um, and when we did this movie, I'd say it's kind of similar, right?
Okay.
That was 100% Casper's idea. She was just like, what if everyone in the film crew had burnt hands? It was like what her pitch was.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, yeah, I love it, right? And and then we made a very conscious decision to not address it ever. You know.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think there's a lot of great moments like that in the film. Both Busted Babies and Vic and Tarstar. And I think that's kind of the best way to approach absurd
Mhm.
elements in a film is just don't explain them.
Yeah.
When you start to explain them, it feels like you're watching like a sci-fi film or something.
Yeah, I don't want to like lean into like like the David Lynch thing where he hates explaining things, but like
Yeah.
there is something a bit of like intriguing about like a mystery, like an unexplained mystery, right? Where
Hmm.
like all right, like your audience can ponder it or make their own conclusions. Like I don't know, did something happen to this film crew
Yeah.
collect collectively where they all burnt their hands? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if Casper knows, but like
Mm.
I don't know. I like the idea of a mystery like that. Mhm.
Well, I think for anyone just like stumbling on the film, they
Mhm.
probably would assume it has something to do with like the lack of budget in the production on the film. Because like people are eating like bugs, you know what I mean? They're eating like out of dumpsters, so
Mhm.
it kind of does connect with that of just like man, these people are like so malnourished and
Mhm.
so like overworked,
Mhm.
that I guess
Mhm.
they would start to show that in their hands or something, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
But
I like it.
so the bugs were real bugs, weren't they? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't just like go out in the street and collect bugs though. We ordered like edible bugs off
Yeah.
so which they were not alive. They were dried, seasoned. They claim, although I was like, there was no flavor to that shit. I'll tell you that right now. But
It's just basically like very cardboardy, right? Like very it's like almost like eating wood kind of, just like
uh,
just
it felt like I mean, like crispier than wood, like but like dustier, kind of like it was like
okay.
it was so dry that it's like as I'm chewing them, it felt like I was like swallowing dust. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that
I was
sucks.
not, it's funny too. It's like the me and Gabby had to eat bugs, but the rest of the crew, they were all just so interested, and they kept eating the bugs before we started
Oh,
shooting.
wow.
Like a lot of the younger kids, especially, like they were loving them, but they
They
were also
like
doing
them?
like, what's that?
They like them?
They liked them, yeah, yeah. But they were also eating like one or two bugs at a time. Like my scene, like I put a whole handful of bugs in my mouth
Yeah.
just because I wanted the extra gross out effect, and it almost made me vomit.
Oh, wow.
Like I didn't, but I felt it a
Yeah.
couple times.
Jesus. So, for the person who has never eaten a bug, what would be the closest comparison you could think of like another existing food?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything quite like eating bugs, you know. But I do want to tell this one bug eating story. Just a little fun anecdote here, right?
I love
So,
it.
a while back now, this is probably like a solid 10 years ago now, I ran into this guy Tony, who he was like an old like elementary school friend of mine. And I hadn't seen him in like a decade. Ran into him at a bar down the street from my old house. And afterward, we decided to go back to my house and kind of hang. I was like, "Oh, dude, I want to show you my pet scorpion." And I went home, and the scorpion had died, but
Oh,
yeah, but he had two live crickets in his cage still. And Tony and I, we had just came from the bar, right? So we were a little intoxicated, and we decided to, like, as tribute to my dead scorpion, we would eat his last two crickets alive.
okay.
You know,
Okay.
I'll tell you this: the eating a cricket live versus like the dried version that we had in the movie. Live is far grosser because it's like, you know, it's kind of
It's
like
mushy.
biting into like a gusher. You know what I mean? Where you get that splash of guts into your mouth when you take that
Whoa.
bite.
Gnarly. Okay,
Yeah.
but is insect blood, is it salty in the same way that human blood is?
I mean,
Or
I
other
guess, like
bloods?
there. Well, I mean, I guess there is blood, but like it, and like the weird gut, there is like a definite like weird mushiness to it. But I don't. There's like a weird sort of like kind of dirt flavor, I'd say, to it.
Oh god.
I don't necessarily recommend it, but you know, but hey, you can eat it if you want to eat bugs. You can do it. You know.
You know what I love about that? I mean, Bruce, this is you in a nutshell. Is like you had a really gross moment, but it was tied
Mhm.
to grieving your pet. It's like you can't get away from this combination of like gross horror and relationship drama. Like that's. I
Mhm.
think that must be your life.
Mhm. Mhm.
I hope you didn't take that personally
No,
or
that's
the
okay.
wrong way.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know.
I'm just like trying to evaluate this fucked up anecdote of eating a bug.
Mhm.
Did you ever eat like a worm in the bottle of a liquor bottle?
No. Uh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
up
I
next.
know it's like a thing, but, like, I feel like I don't really see that a lot. I think there's, like, that one brand of mezcal or something that does it still, but, like, no, yeah, I've never done it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think my friend and I did that when we had a bottle of mezcal in high school that my
Mm.
parents brought back from Mexico.
Yeah.
And we spent the whole summer drinking it because it's so strong, like it will last you forever. And then
Yeah.
we got to the worm at the end and we're like, let's go. And yeah, I actually don't even remember what it was like. It's not even much of an anecdote, really, but
When,
he tells me we did that. So.
when Casper and I were on tour for Busted Babies and Coven of the Black Cube, we stopped at this like sort of like weird road show or like roadside attraction place called South of the Border, and you can buy a lot of different bugs there. Like you can get
Okay.
like cheese seasoned worms and like barbecue flavor.
Wow.
Casper ended up Casper bought me this like it was like a fucking clear blue lollipop with a worm inside.
Oh, wow. Did you eat it?
I actually let my niece have it, right? Because I'm not big on
Oh,
hard candy or in lollipops personally, but my
okay.
niece, my brother's daughter, Lucy, loves bugs and she loves candy, and so I thought she would be the right person to have it, so I let her have it, and she loved it. She absolutely loved it. You know.
Eating the worm? She
Yeah.
enjoyed it?
Yeah, she did the whole thing. Yeah, the whole candy. Yeah, the whole,
Were
yeah.
you were you present when this
Yeah,
happened?
yeah. I was present. Yeah, I think she was like 5 years old at the time too. You know, she
Okay.
loved it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
she's
man.
definitely a member of my family. You know.
Okay. You've all eaten bugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel like we should start wrapping this down. I've just got a questionnaire to do and I can let you on your way. But is there anything else that you wanted to plug before we wrap up?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would definitely just say, yeah, Vick and Tarstar Scarecrow Factory. Come see us like on the road if we're coming to your city. So yeah, I'm in Philadelphia, and if by chance you're in Philly and don't know me yet, I've got a monthly film programming series called Bloodsick Underground Cinema, where I bring in a different director every month. Next month will be my own film. And then after Philly, we're going to be in New York at Spectacle. Then we're going to be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at Zoetropolis. Then we'll be in Kentucky at the Gore Club at Planet of the Tapes. We'll be at Dead Formats Convention in Indianapolis. We're going to be in Detroit. We're going to be in Wilmington, North Carolina. And we're going to be a couple other, Portland, Maine. Or no, not Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon. Sorry. And we may add a couple more cities. We're going to play LA, but I don't have like a hard date yet. Possibly October. We might be in LA in October, a little bit later. But please, like, come see us on the road, because the movie won't be like out for home video purchasing for a while still.
Okay.
We do have these limited Blu-rays that we're only going to be selling at events that won't be on the internet. So like, come see us. Because we really like meeting people. I think film should be a communally experienced thing. It helps us. So please come see us if we're going to be at your city.
Cool. And totally understand it's hard to cross the border and come up to Canada. But for Canadians that want to access your films, they're distributed through, is it SRS? Is that right?
No, but so I mean, all my movies right now are only on my own label, the Bloodsick label. But you can get them from Diabolic DVD, does international shipping, and MakeFlix.com.
MakeFlix, right. Okay, yeah.
Although, so my manufacturer just started allowing Canadian shipping again. So the prices have been changing a lot. So I don't have it like set on my website. But if you want to buy directly from me, send me a message on Instagram or email me or something, and I can check the shipping rates and work it out for you.
Cool.
But as of now, if you just go to my website, it won't allow international shipping. But if you message me, we can figure something out. But if you just want like the easy experience where you don't have to talk to anyone, go to MakeFlix or DiabolicDVD.com, and they have all my stuff pretty much.
Awesome. Good to know. Okay, questionnaire time. All right. What is one item you can't live without?
An item? An item I can't. I don't know. I mean, I'm addicted to like my cell phone. You know.
So many people have answered that. Honestly, yeah.
You ever see a Eugene Koltyarenko film?
No, you mentioned the name earlier. He's associated with Joe Swanberg, right?
No, I don't think they've ever worked together, but I think they know each other. That they both have made movies with Caitlin Sheil is like the connection, but
okay.
But he had a lot of his movies are very, very like screen influenced, you know. So if you want to like see a movie that like takes place on a cell phone, like, I mean, not entirely, but like it's like,
sure,
he's like a director. I really respect him for this. He can make a movie that it really incorporates what it's like to live in the modern era with cell phones being like an important part of life, that in a way that like nobody else does. Like I usually like try to make movies that looks like it could take place in the 90s. Nobody has a phone, or maybe it's like there's like one or two phone calls, but like Eugene is integrated into his movies completely. Check out The Code or
The Code.
Code.
That played here recently, actually.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. I've heard of The Code. Yeah,
Wobble
awesome.
Palace is another really good one. Those two are so good.
Sweet. Yeah. Speaking of the not putting phones in your film, I loved your cameraman's phone part where he pulls what was it? I'm blanking on what it's called. Like a cord, not a cordless phone, but a corded phone. Yeah. He pulls that out of his jacket. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Okay. What was the last great movie you saw in theaters?
In theaters? Let's see. I mean, Wednesday night we played Wolf Moon Rising, Todd Sheets' new movie.
Cool.
Absolutely, absolutely love that. As far as like a multiplex, I haven't really seen a lot of like the newer like big films. Um, but yeah, yeah, Wolf Moon Rising and and the Code also, we screened here. Those are yeah. Yeah, watch either the Code or Wolf Moon Rising, which are mostly just theatrical tours right now.
Cool. All right.
Mhm.
What was the last great concert you went to?
Concert. Let's see. I think there's this band called Serpent. Um, they're it's this Philly band. It's a lot of members of Devil Master. Devil Master was like
Oh, okay. I know
was
them.
yeah, yeah, they're great. They like made it like pretty big on Relapse for a while. They like opened up for My Chemical Romance,
Oh,
weirdly,
okay.
playing in major stadiums,
Yeah.
but they've since kind of been on hiatus.
Okay.
So a lot of people that were in Devil Master formed this new band called Serpent, but it's like kind of everyone is doing like different instruments, and it's like some of it. It's like a couple of the guys that were in the more recent iteration of Devil Master, and a couple people that were in the original lineup that had quit a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, awesome, awesome, like sort of like yeah, punk metal, fusion. Yeah, they're great. Check them out.
Yeah, Devil Master. I think I've heard a while ago. Like they're kind of more black metal.
Yep. Yeah, very
Okay.
like Japanese black metal inspired.
Japanese black metal. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
What? I don't think I've ever heard any Japanese black metal. Like, what would be the bands to check out in terms of Japanese black metal?
So I mean, I would. I'm not the expert. I'm gonna.
That's
I'm
okay.
I don't want to say anything because I know like the very basics. So I don't even want to like mention because I don't want to seem
Good
stupid.
enough. Good enough. Yeah.
But yeah, just
Yeah.
listen. To Devil Master.
What's that?
Just listen to Devil Master and Serpent. That's all you need.
Okay. I'm more of a death metal guy, so when it comes to black metal, I really only know like the basics, you know.
Mhm.
So, but anyways, yeah, Serpent and Devil
Yeah,
Master. Check them
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Okay.
Really.
What was the last great book you read?
So I've actually I'm in the process of rereading this book called Clown Girl. I read it when it first came out back in like '08, and I don't know, it's been on my shelf for a while, and I just like kind of picked it up, and I'm like three-quarters of the way through rereading it. It's a great movie about a clown and her clown boyfriend has sort of deserted her, and it's a great clown relationship.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also like a really huge Jim Thompson fan. Jim
Okay.
Thompson is like a huge inspiration to like a lot of my movies.
Sweet.
Um, yeah, especially Corpse for Christmas because his movies are like sleazy pulp with weird like you know romance dramas mixed into it. They're like way
Yeah.
grittier. They're way
Okay.
grittier than like Chandler and like some of the other like pulp novelists.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'd say like you could pick any Jim Thompson book at random, and I'd say it's like the best book ever written. They're great. Yeah.
Sweet. Do you have a number one favorite though?
Um, it kind of. I feel like it. No, no, I
No.
don't. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
like the Killer Inside Me is like the most famous one, and it's
Okay.
the first one that I read. So like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sticks with me in a certain way, but like Um, but there's so many other great ones. I
Sweet.
yeah.
Okay. Killer Inside Me and Clown Girl. Clown
Yeah.
Girl. Clown
Mhm.
Girl. Okay.
No girl.
Okay. For his final meal, John Wayne Gacy picked KFC chicken, shrimp, and strawberries. For your final meal before being executed, what would you pick?
Shrimp and strawberries. How does that go together at all?
I mean, I don't think in the same bite. I think strawberries was maybe the dessert or
Just
something. That's
yeah.
I'm not gonna overanalyze it, but that's what I assume.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, your final meal.
I don't know. I'm pretty easy to please. You know what? I'll say this, man. I had this awesome shrimp and grits meal when I was in Savannah a couple years ago, and it was
Hmm.
so fucking good. And I haven't had shrimp and grits since. I get it from that same place down there, I'd say that'd be a good way to go out, you know.
I've never had grits before. What is it exactly?
I mean, it's like if you ever had like cream of wheat or like oatmeal adjacent kind of say, it's like sort of like a breakfasty grain kind of thing, you know. It's I don't know if you've had cream of wheat or oatmeal. It's
Okay.
along those lines, similar, you know. Mhm. But
I'm not gonna lie, shrimp and oatmeal
well,
sounds so
I mean,
wild.
it's not exact. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
prepare it differently too,
Yeah.
and a lot of grits are made with like cheese too. You know, so it's like it's a smooth, pasty grain, and then with cheese and shrimp. And it was like is yeah, but it's great. It's
Is
very
the
southern.
is the shrimp on the side or mixed in with the grits?
I think it was mixed in when I got it. Yeah, or like laid on top or whatever. Yeah. Shrimp
Wow.
and grits, man, it was good. It's good. You know, I'm not
Okay.
Southern, so it's like
Yeah.
we can't really get that here in Philly. But
Yeah.
I love Southern food. So anytime I go down south, I like get
Yeah.
biscuits and gravy, shrimp and grits, dude. You know, it's good.
Okay. Okay. I'm more of like like give me some beef brisket or like fried chicken or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, I
The
like that
meats.
too, but I can get it easily around here. So it's like it's so. But yeah, I like
Fair
traveling,
enough.
eating that kind of food. It's like if I go to California, I'm like, dude, I gotta get the street corn, because we can't get that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've had street corn like well, I mean, it was like a Toronto hipster taco restaurant's version of a street corn, but it was
Yeah,
still
and
really good.
I'm sure that that's good, but I'm sure it's also just very different than like getting it like on a
Oh,
street
it
in the
wouldn't
street
be as good.
display. Yeah,
You pay 3 times the price for something
mhm,
that's like a facsimile of the real thing.
right.
So yeah, fuck that. But yeah, dessert, drink. What would you
Oh,
cap it
dessert.
off with?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, dessert. I don't eat a whole lot of desserts, but like to me, dessert has always been sort of like associated with like like a date or something. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I like going out on like an ice cream date. Although like I for pretty much never like eating ice cream like on my own. But I don't know, baklava. I like what too.
Oh, baklava's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have you ever had butter cake? I think it might be a Pennsylvania thing, right?
Oh, I haven't had it. No.
It's like this like Dutch dessert. It's so good. It's called butter cake, and it's I don't know. It's probably just like super diabetes, but like it
Yeah.
kind of resembles. I don't know, like cheesecake might be the closest thing to it, but it's like it's still very different. I don't know, but it's very rich.
It
But
kind
yeah,
of sounds like Japanese cheesecake. Have you ever heard of that or tried it?
I haven't had it, but maybe yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
if you're ever in PA, seek out like a Dutch bakery and get yourself a butter cake. They're so.
I've only been to Pennsylvania once, and it was to go to the Mahoning Drive-In.
Mhm.
Have you been there?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Mhm.
Sweet. Oh, do you go often?
So I used to go all the time, but I'm busier now, so it's been
Sure.
harder. But
Yeah.
I do go every year for VHS Fest still. We've been there
Cool.
every year. That was just this past weekend actually. And what was it two was it last year or 2 years ago we screened our film Pumpkin Man Lives There.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, so that was cool because I think that at the time that was like the first new movie premiere to happen there in over a decade because they are like pretty dedicated to retro film
Yeah,
only,
I could see that. Yeah.
which I totally respect, but we got invited to play there by our friend Hayden Hall, um,
Cool.
known as like Six Slice. He's another like shot on video director, but he does a lot of like poster art for Mahoning, and I think
Cool.
he's just, like, good buds with them. So they give him one night a year to do whatever he wants. And that year, he invited me and the Heebie Jeebie TV guys to each take, just play like a short, essentially. So
That's awesome.
he had a show called Luther's Mid-Fright Snack. So Hayden premiered his new short, or it's not even a short, it's a TV episode. And then we had Punk Man Lives was our short film, so we had played that, and that was the first time I played anywhere.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, it's great.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Um, Sorry, and drink with your final meal if there's
Oh yeah,
something you have.
yeah. Dickel rye on the rocks. That's my go-to end of night meal every day. You know,
What is it?
Dickel rye. George Dickel is like they're a whiskey making company.
Okay, okay,
And their rye is fantastic. Mhm,
cool.
mhm.
Okay, all
I
right.
drink it all the time.
Final question: can art go too far?
I mean, it depends on the artist, I guess. I mean, there is art that goes too far for me. But
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like you should do whatever you want to do and express yourself however you want,
Yeah.
and that'll, it'll resonate with some people for
Yeah.
sure, and maybe not me, but
Fair
I know.
enough.
No, I mean, yeah, you've interviewed people like White Gardenia and stuff. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't I can't do that stuff. The Lucifer Valentine, I can't get down with that kind of shit.
No, no.
Personally.
I probably will never, and I mean, I don't think he does interviews, but I don't really want
Mhm.
to. I don't want to engage with Lucifer
Yeah, yeah.
Valentine. At
Mhm.
least with White Gardenia, they don't affect others. So,
Uh-huh.
do you know what I mean? It's like if you're
Yep.
gonna do stuff to yourself, then it's your body,
Right.
your choice. So,
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, I can totally respect that crossing lines for people, and I think for me as an interviewer, though, I find their work fascinating, and I find
Yeah.
they're fascinating
I
people.
I I I've watched some of it, and it's like I get the appeal. It's just I
Well, it's almost it taps into that like this isn't really like super complimentary, but like being a kid and going online and being like going onto rotten.com or something, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It taps into that curiosity of like what's out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's like a whole world that I personally am like, I, I you know, I get it. I remember watching Traces of Death. Like as a,
Yeah.
and it's sort of like I see it that kind of stuff as sort of like a rite of passage. Like you kind
Sure.
of like you watch it and you understand that that is like a part of the world that exists, and I think it should exist. Um, I just don't enjoy it, But yeah,
No,
but
that's
even in
fair.
that stuff, I even reference it in my art, like in like Bloodsick, they're watching true gore tapes.
Right. The
So it's
chases of death.
like, yeah. Well, there was faces, then there was chases or traces of that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
was expecting it to be funnier based on the chases of death. Like I thought it was literally going to be like people running after each other.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
But
I just wanted to find a word that rhymed with faces and traces. It, I was like, well, we had the footage before I came up with the name.
okay. I got it. I got it. Okay. Well, you've answered the questionnaire. Everyone go see Vick and Tarstar's Scarecrow Factory when it's playing near them. Go check out your films. Buy them online if you can. And Bruce, it was great talking to you. I'd love to have you back on because you're a very productive director. So I'm sure you'll pop out another film and I can get you back on and within the next year or so. So
Right. Yeah, we're trying to, yeah, I'm always working on something, so
cool.
yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
the Death Cult film.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have that. Yeah. I produced a film with Dave Castiglione earlier this year that'll probably come out around Christmas time.
Oh, cool. What's it called?
It's called An Ex-Hooker's Christmas Nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Dave made this movie called An Ex-Hooker's Christmas Carol back in 93 or so, and it's like a weird sort of sequel to that you don't need to have seen the original for, but
Hmm.
it's like they're an offshoot of Wave. It's all these Wave Productions people made.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I still need to dive into that whole world. I haven't seen any wave stuff yet, but I've read about it. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
they're sort of a group that like it again. It fascinates me that they exist. It's a weird fetishism world that I don't
Hmm.
exactly like. Particularly, I'm not exactly into it, but I'm
Yeah,
glad it exists. I watched some of the movies out of like it's like a weird morbid curiosity,
totally.
more so than like the fetish interest that they're made for. Like I
Yeah.
see like this weird anomaly. I'm like it's so weird that you guys make this. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you do, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I
But yeah,
uh I watch a lot of the not the same content, but I watch a lot of content for those same reasons, you know. I
mhm,
mean, like Japanese pink films or things
mhm,
like that, you know. It's just like, what? Who is this for?
mhm,
But
yeah,
yeah. But anyways, yeah, ex hookers Christmas nightmare. Okay. That sounds awesome. All right,
yeah.
Bruce, thank you so much. Really
Thanks for
enjoyed chatting with you. Have a good day.
you
And
too.
yeah. All right, take care.
Thank you.